So there's an event we have here in my hometown, and it was an impromptu kind of spontaneous event that's kind of grown into something much larger now, but it's called the Cruise Enumclaw. And this is how I figured out that I was able to start charging people for photos. So I am definitely going to be grabbing my drone. Got a couple charged batteries, remote, my camera back down here. Let's see what I got. So I've got my backup camera here, which is my EOS M50. Some gaff tape, I just like to leave that in there. Let's see here. This would be my 17 to 40. Definitely gonna use that. And then my Sigma 18 to 35, and I've already got the EF adapter for my M50 on there. So I think I will use my 6D, and I'm gonna leave my 85 millimeter, just because I'm not taking portraits. All right, so here's my secret method. I sit down at intersections where cars have to cross one at a time. It's like a four-way stop, and I get each car as it's coming across because it clears it up and it frees it from all the other cars, and I can isolate it and get a sweet picture of it. So let me turn this around. So I'm literally just sitting here at this intersection, and I'll take photos of cars as they cross. So it's Monday morning, sitting here going through all of my photos from this weekend. It is July 5th, and no, I did not get any 4th of July fireworks photos. Please keep sharing those online. Everybody loves to see them. So as usual, when I'm on my computer, I have a gazillion tabs open. I'm a member of a couple Facebook groups for photography, a couple beginners Facebook groups for photography. And every day I see a variation of the same question. The question is, when should I start charging? How do I know if I'm ready to start charging? How do I start charging? Some kind of variation of that same question multiple times a day in and day out, every single day. Now, I'm still pretty new. I started taking photos, and I took photos, with my camera, and I had a camera for YouTube. I've been taking them for a while, but I really decided to dedicate and hone my craft when it comes to photography just in December. So it is July now, so 8 months, 9 months maybe. I've been really actually working at photography, learning the ins and outs of the exposure triangle and how to use strobes and lights and all that stuff, right? So I figure since I was just there, I want to share with you how I knew I was ready and how I get clients nowadays. Now, I'm not saying my advice is the be all end all. There's probably better photographers than myself out there who will give you completely different advice. Take their advice, take my advice, take nobody's advice. I don't really care. I just wanted to share my experiences with you. So here's how I knew I was ready to start charging. I got a website. You should have a website if you don't have one. So when I first got the website, I used it kind of just to show my portfolio. Someone could hop online and they can see the pictures I took. But I wasn't really utilizing my website the way I should have been. Now I use Wix. I like Wix. I found out that Wix has a photo album feature built into it. It's just a way for you to upload your photos to specific albums. So when people go to your website, they can click on an album. You can have landscape photography. You can have a photo shoot, Johnson photo shoot, July 2021. You can title it whatever you want, and it's a really cool way for you to upload those photos. And Wix is actually really good in that regard. Now, it also has a shop feature in it. So at that shop feature, they can actually go in and click on individual photos and order products, prints, frame prints, canvas prints, coffee mugs, t-shirts, pillows. They can order a variety of things directly from a store on there. Now you can control that pricing. They show you how much you pay for that product, and then you can adjust how much you charge for that product. And that includes digital downloads where people can actually just click and download a high resolution version of that photo. Of course, we want them to purchase more products than just the digital download, but if that's all they can afford, if that's all they want, if that's all they're looking for, they certainly have that option. So once I discovered that, the plan came to light for me. So in my hometown here, they have all kinds of events. Most towns do. If not, I'm sure you can drive a little bit to a town that does. There is rodeos, there's car cruises, there's business grand openings, there's sidewalk sales, there's sporting events for the schools. There's all kinds of stuff going on in towns all over this country, including one that's close to yours, I'm certain. So I started going out with my camera and shooting these events. I'd ask people to take their portrait at a car cruise next to their car. I'd just get, some wide angle shots, some close up shots. I'd see stuff that was cool. I'd take those. I'd just go and I'd snap away at these events. So after I take all these photos at the events, I go online and I find the event page and I join that if I haven't already. I make sure I'm a member of some of the local community pages. I make sure I'm a member of pages where people who were at the event would also likely be members of that page. Then I get to editing. I make sure I edit all these photos, and I only want to share and pick ones that live up to the highest standard. One of the number one mistakes, in my opinion, I see people do is give far too many photos. I took 400 or so pictures of the car cruise we had here in town this weekend. Out of that, I'll be lucky to get maybe 50 or 60 that I'm actually willing to share. I want to make sure my work lives up to a very, very high standard. Whatever that standard might be for you, only share photos that live up to that standard. So anyway, you get to editing, you edit all the photos that you like. You get them looking pristine, you get them looking really, really good. Upload them to your photo album on the website that you created with the store attached to that website that you created, and go to all those pages that you joined where people that were at that event would likely be and share that photo album. The next day, take 2 or 3 of your favorite photos, put them in a slideshow on Facebook, and reshare those. You want to share to community pages, event pages, anywhere people might be that were at that event, as well as your personal business page on Facebook. Do the same thing with Instagram. If you use Lightroom, you can actually go in and adjust the crop so your photos fit Instagram. Same thing, share your 2 or 3 photos, hashtag the heck out of those things where people in the community that would have been at that event will run across that photo. Same thing on Twitter. I think you're getting the point here. Put your work out there. Make sure people see your work. Hand out your cards at these events so people know to go look for your work. When people start paying for your photos through your shop online, when you start getting phone calls of people who you gave your card to book you, then you will know that you're ready to start charging for photography. You're not going to have a choice. When your Facebook message inbox has people messaging you to book you, you know you're ready to charge. If people aren't reaching out to you to get these digital downloads, to order these coffee mugs, to order these prints, if they're not contacting you to book your services, then you might not be ready yet. And that's not a bad thing. It just means that you still have room to grow. Keep working at it. Keep following this method. Pretty soon your work's going to become undeniable, and people are going to reach out to you to book you. They're going to reach out to buy the photos that you're putting out there because they're awesome. They want to. So that's how I knew. That's my method. That worked for me. I hope that you could take something from this video to assist you in your photography journey. In my opinion, the more photographers, the better. Keep taking photos. If you like these types of videos, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. You can find us online everywhere, just / The Bob and Liz Show at the end of the URL for Facebook, for Instagram, for all the social medias. Our website is bobandlizshow.com, and catch you guys next time.
Yeah.
All right, so it's 9:30-ish. I got started at like 3. Finished up, successful day. Towards like the last half hour, 45 minutes, I went and got my Cinebloom 20% filter and threw that on there. And I basically stayed out until my ISO got to a point where I'd be having far too much noise to make anything happen. I was using an f4 lens. I got till 9:30, 9:45-ish. Got some cool photos. The Cinebloom filter will definitely come through in some of the ones, towards the end of the day. But a successful day. Had a couple drinks in between. Saw a bunch of awesome people. Like, you got to ask yourself, what sets you apart? Why should those people that you're going to market to in those groups with the photos you take, and why should they reach out to you? What's going to make you jump out? When they're scrolling through, they're going to stop and look at your photos. They're going to click on your timeline.